Hey, what's up, everybody? If we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Marcus, and I get to be the campus pastor here at University Lutheran Chapel. You can actually have a seat. I'm just going to do a very quick lead into our time of prayer and meditation. And I don't want to take too much time, but I just sort of want to, I guess, as we encourage you to spend some time silently in prayer tonight, just begin with sort of a simple question of why do we pray? Why do we actually pray? I mean, right, if God knows everything, right, if God knows exactly what you need before you even ask, why should we even pray? And I think sometimes we find ourselves sort of searching for an answer to that. And I think the reason that we have a difficult time asking, okay, why do we pray? What's the whole point of prayer? Often stems from, I think, maybe a broken understanding of who God is. You see, God isn't a cosmic impersonal force that's just kind of out there, but God has shown himself to be a person, a particular kind of person. Like Matthew chapter 6, Jesus is talking about prayer, and he tells his disciples this. He says, when you pray, go into your room, shut the door, and pray to who? To your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Or Matthew chapter 7, Jesus says this. He says, or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? The primary, the fundamental way that Jesus in the Gospels refers to God is not just as his Father, but as our Father. That God is a person who has shown himself to relate to you as Father. Or jump ahead to Revelation chapter 21. St. John writes this. He says, then one of the seven angels who had come with the seven bowls full of the last plagues and spoke to me, saying, come, I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb. Do you know who that is in Revelation? It's the church. So in terms of God the Father, right, he's shown himself to be our Father, and then we relate to Jesus, right, the Son, right, as the bride of Christ. You see, here's what the New Testament does, is it takes the two most intimate relationships that we see in all of humanity, right, that of parent and child and that of husband and wife, and says, God relates to you like that. God desires to know you and be in relationship with you like that. And as anyone who has been in a good or bad relationship knows, relationships demand communication, right? That if you're going to know someone, you have to talk to them, right? And so our language with God is fundamentally prayer, right? In prayer, what we are doing is we are first listening to God, how he has shown himself to be, what he said he's like in his word, and what do? We simply respond in prayer. And because God has shown himself to be Father, because he has shown himself, right, to be our good and gracious husband who seeks to care for all of our needs, there's nothing that we need to withhold from him. There's nothing that we need to hold back. Is that we see what God has shown about himself and we respond in prayer. And so as we pray tonight, just two very simple prompts for you. God, show me what you're like. God, show me what you're like. Help me to see what you have said about yourself in your word. Help me to understand it. Help me to believe it. Help me to cling to it. And then because of that, God, here's what I need. And you can lay before him everything, every worry, every anxiety, every sin, everything in your life that is out of sorts and that has not been covered over by the transforming grace of God. He invites you to hand over to him. Right? Because your God delights to hear your prayers. And he's inviting you to bring them to you right now, and he's ready. And so I invite you to come and pray before your God right now because he wants to hear you. because he's not this cosmic impersonal force who's not connected to us. He's a person who's shown the depth of his love for you and me. So you can go to him in prayer now.